Hi everyone, I'm Ashmita Chitlangya.
And I am Pushpam from the Lancaster University.
And you are listening to the MBA Lancaster Highlights podcast.
In this series, we are going to talk to students about their experiences on the Lancaster MBA course.
Keep listening and stay tuned.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the MBA Lancaster Highlights podcast. Today I'm talking to two fascinating people from our cohort, Damilola and Shahnawaz Khan. Hello both of you and welcome to the show.
Hi Pushpam.
Yeah, hi Pushpam.
So why don't we start by just introducing yourself. Damilola, why don't you go first and just tell our viewers where you come from and what's your background?
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Damilola Bode Harrison. I come from Nigeria, and prior to joining the Lancaster MBA, I have been in management consulting for over 10 years and had bulk of my experience with Deloitte.
Brilliant, that's a fascinating career. Shahnawaz Khan.
Hi everybody, I'm Shahnawaz Khan. I'm from India and I'm basically an electronics and communication engineer who worked in oil and gas exploration. So I worked in India and then I worked in Iran for over a decade.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. So let me start. So today we are going to talk about the digital innovation module and the trip to Bletchley Park and the National Computing Museum and the time we spent in London. So Dami, why don't you start by telling us how was this module, what we did initially, your whole experience of the trip?
For digital innovation in business, it was a very fascinating model, and I really liked the fact that we didn't limit the learning experience within the four walls of the classroom. We had a movie called The Imitation Game that we had to watch. We went to Bletchley Park and National Museum of Computing.
What about you? What's your memory of those trips? How we went about it?
You know, very fond memories of that trip. Like as she was saying, talking of digitization, what pandemic has done major, a big change that it has brought upon is the extent of digital adoption in common life.
Absolutely.
So adding to it, when we talk of digital innovation, we were able to actually go to places where within the last century a lot of innovation had actually happened. We were able to see those places of digital innovation. That was it was very there was a sense of nostalgia. Add to it the module and the things that we need to learn and do. So it was a very wonderful experience. Apart from the scenic places that we saw, the park, the Bletchley Park that we saw itself is very scenic, beautiful. But at the same time, there's a lot of history, innovation, technology, all just put together.
Absolutely. I remember when I was walking through that and we walked into that house where they have preserved everything, old typewriters and still those codes, Nazi's codes. I was transported back in time. What was your feeling like?
When you go over there, there's that video they play out, and that video is the way it has been recorded. It looks like it's in the past.
Absolutely.
So it takes you back in time, and the whole setting is in that way. So it takes you back in time, you feel nostalgic, and then you are able to really visualize those places. So they have rebuilt a model of in the museum there, they have rebuilt a model of the computer used. Yeah. You can see those machines which they use for deciphering, some of them in action.
And so this was a part of the module, right? So when we came back, so what we did do, what's your reflection on that, Dami?
Just like Shan was saying, it just takes you back to seeing how everything started.
Yeah.
The first computer, what went into them breaking the enigma, basically, and the long hours that went into it, and the fact that I can hold the phone today. But before now, it was literally like a wall.
Yeah.
It was like a heavy machine, and now everything is now in a phone.
Yeah.
So that has opened my mind up to a number of things. At the end of the day, when you want to innovate, it's not so much about making it complex. It's more about breaking it down and making it very simple so that your users can connect to it.
Absolutely. I think that was really fascinating because we got to go there, experience it, learn about these stories, even back in 50, 60 years when resources were, technology was not so advanced. Still people were innovating, and how they were doing that. That was really outstanding. Shan?
Yes, exactly. What I would say is while studying the module, we talked about the importance and significance of place in digital
Absolutely.
innovation. So when I look at the whole module and how it went through, I could have learned many of those, the concepts of innovation sitting
Absolutely.
at home. But the MBA gave us this opportunity to go over there. We saw the importance of place. Now, highlighting a few things is like, if you look at it, it was a place which was between, let's say, Cambridge and Oxford.
Yeah.
Two of those places at those times where you could easily get, not very easily, but still you could manage to get people who are masters of mathematics and stuff, who can break those codes. So the importance of the place and providing that atmosphere to do the innovation, that's something that we could go and feel and understand. Wouldn't have been possible if I had just read a book, or even if I had read it 50 times. That place is important, but to go there and to visualize and see how it was done makes me really understand how important it is.
Correct. So moving on from that discussion, we also spent a few days in London, and we met a few authors. They taught us about how to be more pirate and stuff. Why don't you touch upon those aspects also?
Yes. How to be more pirates. Yeah, I think a very good part of that journey was the fact that the author actually gave us all 69 of us, the book, and it's been very helpful. So being more pirates, basically, it's challenging the status quo, like be a rule breaker, and not in terms of breaking UK government rules or things like that. No, it's more about challenging the status quo.
Absolutely.
And looking out to make things better than you left them or you met them, basically.
Absolutely. Sean?
Yeah, it was just a captivating topic, and it's how you should be it's more about not trying to limit yourself with the boundaries that you draw yourself, and to try to expand the boundaries, break the boundaries. That is not in the sense of breaking the law or the rules, but breaking the boundaries and trying to figure out solutions within that. So it was very interesting when they mentioned these ideas to us. We hear about it every day, but the way they expressed it and explained to us, I think it was very good.
Yeah, and when you get to meet the authors of the book who have written about these concepts, these are not easy concepts to understand, but when you interact with them, then slowly, even if you start implementing, you get more idea and hang of it, and then you can, going forward, implement it. So for me personally, this module was all about, innovation and leadership. So how do these two complex concepts, marry each other, and how do they work?
I can't answer this question without referring back to the movie Imitation Game.
Okay.
And because I'm a movie buff, I kind of connected more
with
it. So when in terms of leadership, there was a scene when Alan Turing had the mindset of what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, they were already given a mandate to manually break this code.
Absolutely.
But he was like, no, because the code resets every 12 midnight and they have to start all over again. He's like, I'm going to build a machine that is going to beat Enigma. But I think what he did wrong in that situation was he was doing it alone. And he didn't carry his team along, and there was a lot of setback. But the moment the team bought into his idea, he was able to carry the team along. They made a lot of progress.
Absolutely.
And for me, in terms of leadership, it's not just enough for you to have the idea. It's about you communicating to your people and building a team that trusts you and that you trust them back.
That is so very well put together, leadership, having that vision is one thing, but also communicating and bringing the team along. Only then you can, innovate. Sean?
Yeah, Demi, you put it so perfectly. It's about leadership, the vision that you have, and then how you how you spread the vision and how you get people to work together. I think that's very important. And any multinational that you see right now, any big achievement that we see, so complex developments happening these days in quick time, it cannot happen without collaboration and team efforts. So definitely leadership is not about being the sole single leader these days. It's about leader and the team, or it's rather more about teams that are building up. The concepts of team coming up with efforts is more important.
Absolutely. And before we end, how can we not talk about the last night that we stayed in a hotel next to the football stadium? How about that? That was a fascinating dinner, and what a view. So just briefly touch upon that.
I can feel myself right now there.
Yes.
So first of all, the hotel that we stayed, so usually in my personal experiences, it has been I've seen hotels you stay, you look through the balcony or you look through the view, you see a garden or let's say a swimming pool. So things could be varying between the two. But here on the other side, we had a complete
Football stadium. Wow.
So that was wonderful. It was really good, and the stadium itself was quite good. Really, like, it was wonderful. So it was a very good experience there, and the dinner was like really good. So like that was like a very enjoyable experience. You know, it was like a good get together with people, talking, having fun time with people, and then getting back to digital innovation again.
Getting back to digital innovation, damn, yeah, I'm sure you partied all night.
No, I didn't party. But it was everything Sean said, and the breakfast the morning after.
Oh yes, how can I forget that? That was stunning, wasn't
Yes,
it? I ate for like about an hour.
Yeah, and everything was good. Like, it literally brought to life why English breakfast is the bomb.
Yes, and all this is part of the experience, isn't it? MBA experience. So it's not just about going there and learning about the module. You know, you also get to experience these things. You know, as a cohort, you go on fascinating dinners, have breakfast, share time together. So anyway, so that brings me to the end of this podcast. Thank you very much. I just want to sum up this. So this module, it was full of learning experiences. We went to London, spent a few days there. Then we went to Bletchley Park, National Computing Museum, and then we stayed in a hotel overlooking football stadium. And then we came back and then we talked to a lot of professionals, indulged ourselves in projects. It was a great learning experience. So that's it in this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you, both of you. Thank you once again.